Hey guys, welcome to Jay Speak. This week we answer questions. First question, why do you get so annoyed with limited edition pedals? Question based off what I said last week. I only get annoyed with all the limited edition, colors and alt graphics because I like generally the original forms. Sometimes they come out with a cooler graphic and I get it. I almost hesitate buying anything brand new from Walrus Audio because they could come out with a cooler graphic. I recently saw that Keeley released different versions of the Echoes and the Hydra, where instead of coming in blue for the Hydra, it comes in purple, which is pretty cool. The Echoes I've seen completely blacked out, which was really neat, and I have the standard white version. And then I saw a pink version. I think it's a CME exclusive, but either way, I think you understand my point where you could pick up a pedal, you really like it, and they come out with a cooler graphic later on. And honestly, I think I just like the non-standard versions of almost anything. I enjoy that for some reason. I would much prefer have something unique and special than the run-of-the-mill. It almost doesn't matter what it is. That's just how I'm wired. It's kind of funny to me, but in the same time it's annoying because then I'll focus on like, oh man, I should have got a purple Hydra. I should have waited. I mean, truth be told, my favorite color is blue anyway, so what do I want a purple Hydra for? Other than it's more, quote, special than the standard version. I do, however, get annoyed with people that will buy up those 50 copies of that pedal and then try to sell it for twice the price the next day. That's what I get annoyed with. I mean, to me, it's poor form. And if you're going to do that for an investment, and I understand trying to make a buck, why not just hold it and wait down the road? And I understand investing in the limited edition version so you can get your money back later on. That I totally understand. I hope that makes sense from a rant standpoint. Question 2, are bigger wattage amps better? I actually talked about this topic a lot. Bigger wattage amps are not necessarily better. They give you more headroom so you don't break up as quick as far as gain. They also sound bigger in general. If you take a 20 watt amp, which could sound huge through a 412, have no problems, they sound really good when they get dialed in, up against a 100 watt head into that same 412, the 100 watt is just going to push more out. It's just going to sound bigger. It could sound more 3D, but it really just depends on the amplifier. They will sound bigger and most likely louder, and our perceived volume in our brain is going to tell us that it's a better sounding amp. It's not a better sounding amp, you're just hearing all that power behind it. It is really what it is. There's nothing wrong with lower wattage amps. You can get them cooking at low volumes and they can sound awesome. And a lot of famous guitar tones are lower wattage amps. There's obviously higher wattage amps that also produce the same iconic sounds. However, you're really limiting your headroom when it comes to wattage. Oddly enough, one of the things I always liked about the Fender Princeton was it sounds really awesome clean, but I always wanted to hear what it sounded like driven, and when I just cranked that puppy to 10, it would sound good, but because it's in this little combo, the casing would rattle, and to me, those Fender just does not make good housings. They're not as good as like a Mesa. It's thinner, cheaper wood in the Fender. They're not meant to withstand that kind of volume. I kind of like to hear that amp out, to another cabinet just to see how it sounds. But I hope that makes sense, because don't confuse needing more wattage for volume, because you really don't need it. And it's really a headroom thing, and just the higher wattage amps definitely sound bigger compared to the smaller wattage amps. And those in direct comparisons too. You could take the same wattage amp and they're going to sound different just because they're different circuits, this, that, and the other thing. So question 3, what is one amp I'll never sell? That's a great question. I've definitely bought and sold the same amp multiple times. I am guilty of that. I think the one amp I will probably never sell is my Fender Twin. I've always wanted a Twin, and I've gone through the deluxe reverbs and the Princetons, and where those have good cleans, I couldn't get them loud enough, and that might seem insane. Just having a 212 Fender combo to me is like the best clean sound in the world. So I will most likely never get rid of that amp. There are runner-ups, but that's probably the one that sticks around. As always, thanks for the questions. If you have any questions, please leave them below or hit up the email ContactTheJay@gmail.com. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.